are in South Africa, and there we are in KwaZulu Natal, in the province of KwaZulu Natal, in Mandeni. We are helping the people through Blessed Gérard's Care Center, and this Blessed Gérard's Care Center is a center of comprehensive care, where we, on the one hand, run a large inpatient unit hospice. One of our most important programs is a large AIDS treatment program. We have a children's home in this house. We run a clinic for malnourished infants. We have a pre-primary school and crèche. We have a bursary fund where we help gifted children of poor parents to pay for their education. We have a first aid and emergency service. That means we help people who unexpectedly run into some emergency situation. And we have a poor sick fund, which helps poor sick people who need medical treatment and can't afford it themselves. When I came here as a parish priest in 1990, I was actually quite surprised, because the community I saw here was not just a semi-urban community as here in the village, if you want to call it like that, of Mandeni, but there is a huge township, and round that township are informal settlements. That is an area where people live in huts which they have built out of trash, which they have built out of plastic, out of wooden planks they could find anywhere. They have no running water, they have no electricity, and people go to the toilet by crouching down in the bush. It is one good thing to help people by giving banknotes to beggars, but I think there are much better things to do than giving banknotes to beggars, and that is to make people self-sufficient, to do help for self-help, meaning that people can help themselves.
I need to push it to location to babble to look down and with she's just getting pension, then she have to use a pension.
Oh, so much. So many people. 6.
My name is Wiseman Zulu. My job here, I am a therapeutic counselor. A therapeutic counselor is to go and monitor those patients who are taking medication from us. So as they take medication here, they have to go home. While they're at home, they've got different problems. Some of them, they are just feel isolated. Some of them, they don't have food. I have to see, because they can't take medication without food.
I was HIV positive. Do feel better. The problem is that we're always starving and we can't take our medicine properly because of the hunger. To go back to school, that's my biggest wish. Yeah, I'd like to be a human resource, HR.
Talking with people.
Yeah, or be a social worker, something like that. Yeah. It's not that possible to find work around here, around this area. We can't find work, especially as none of us have matriculated or something. We don't have nothing to offer, so we can find some job. So it's not possible for us.
The works that we do are not only helping what we call our patients or our clients, but in a different way, it is also our staff members and our volunteers. It's a community upliftment for them. First of all, they have something to do. Secondly, they earn an income. Thirdly, they are very proud to be part of this organization. It's the people from the informal settlements, it's the people from the township, it's the people from the rural areas, and it gives their life a direction, it gives their life a sense, and that is a very fulfilling thing.
I'm Kayanzimande. I work here as a doctor in the hospice and also in the HIV clinic. Well, people do ask me how do I deal with death and why am I in such a depressing environment. And I must admit, initially before I came here, I also had that impression that if I'm going to a hospice, I'm going to see people dying, what's the use? But I've been here now for almost 8 years. And within the first year, it changed the way I looked at hospice care and palliative care, in the sense that we actually make a big difference in people's lives. Because people who are coming here are people who have been to hospital, usually, and the hospital has said, we cannot do anything for you. And we don't have that line in our organization. So we know there's always something to do, even if it just means controlling the person's symptoms and taking away their pain, making sure they're comfortable. That makes a whole lot of difference in that person's life. Even if they do pass away, but if they pass away or they die and they're comfortable, they're smiling, they don't have any pain, it gives us a sense of fulfillment that at least we made the person comfortable. And it's a bonus if a person comes in a bed and walks out alive and goes back to the community. We feel that, okay, at least we've made a difference in one person's life. So it's mostly more about sense of fulfillment and reward more than sense of pride.
When I think about the poverty out of which our patients come, it is a culture shock on the one hand, because they come into a house which is clean. They come into a house with warm and cold water in the bathrooms. They come into a clean bed, and they get full nursing care, and they get good meals. Even more than that is what I call a culture shock of love. That the patients all of a sudden are important. The patient is loved. This is quite in the contradiction to their situation at home. And that's not what they're used to, that people are so nice to them. And there have been patients who say to us, as nice as you are, nobody has ever been to me in my life. All right. Some people say, well, you're wasting your money by looking after AIDS patients because they're going to die anyway. Shouldn't you rather help children? First of all, we help children, and this is one of our main tasks, to look after children. But if you think about yourself, just consider yourself an AIDS patient. Maybe you got raped. Maybe you were infected at that rape and now you need help, and now somebody comes and says, sorry, I can't help you because you're not a child. I mean, that would be impossible and would be a contradiction to all our Christian values we have. We look for those people who need our help, no matter how old they are, no matter what religion they have, no matter what color of skin they have, no matter what political party they fancy, no matter what sexual orientation they have. We do care, but we don't care about those differences. We are there for everybody. Our criteria to help is that somebody needs our help, and then we are there for them no matter what. In the Zulu society, normally the family looks after the children of the deceased, but if the brothers and sisters of the deceased have died already from AIDS, then sometimes there is no place anymore for the children to be, and so we said, come to us and we look after you.
My name is Hayne Clark, and I'm the Children's Home Manager here at Blessed Gérard Care Centre. In many cases, the children that reach us are often AIDS orphans where their parents have died because of AIDS. Some of them are very young when they come in. There will be trauma that the child experiences in the whole environment of losing their parents, and they don't understand why, and they don't quite grasp the concept of HIV and AIDS and what has happened. So when we bring them in, we use our caregivers first of all to mother these children so that they feel accepted. I feel so proud when our children who have passed through our hands go out into the world and make something of themselves. We're not looking for everybody to be a rocket scientist or a statesman, just to be a good, upstanding person, and they then have the ability to say, I made it. It's not about a job, it's a vocation. And there's no prouder feeling than to see a child that you know you had just a little part in making their lives what they are when they get out there.
These people have no health insurance, and therefore we have to fundraise to pay for their upkeep, to pay for their care, to pay for their treatment. We have all the wonderful helpers, we have all the buildings, and we have all the cars. All we need is the money to keep the whole thing running, and this is why we say, please do help us to help.